Have you ever heard of Luhya?
No, it's not a trendy new dish or the latest dance craze. It's actually one of the largest and most fascinating ethnic groups in Kenya. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the incredible history of the Luhya people, a journey that spans centuries, migrations, and the forging of a unique cultural identity. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's travel back in time. Our story begins a long, long time ago, in the heart of Africa. The ancestors of the Luhya people were part of a massive movement of peoples known as the Bantu migrations. Imagine vast groups of families, clans, and communities journeying across the continent, searching for new lands to farm and new places to call home. This wasn't a single quick trip. It was a slow, gradual expansion that took place over hundreds, even thousands of years. The Proto-Luhya, as we can call them, are believed to have originated somewhere in the Congo Basin near the Cameroon-Nigeria border. From around 1500 BC, these early Bantu-speaking groups started moving eastward and southward. Think of it like a massive, slow-motion wave of humanity spreading across the African landscape. They brought with them incredible skills in agriculture, particularly the cultivation of crops like yams and sorghum, and they were experts in ironworking. This knowledge was revolutionary, allowing them to clear forests, create better tools, and establish more permanent settlements. Fast forward to around 500 AD to 1000 AD, our Proto-Luhya ancestors have made their way to the Great Lakes region of East Africa, an area that includes modern-day Uganda, Rwanda, and Tanzania. This was a melting pot of cultures. Here, they encountered other groups like the Nilotic and Cushitic peoples, and this interaction was key. They didn't just pass by each other. They traded, they intermarried, they exchanged ideas, languages, and technologies. This period of intense cultural exchange was crucial in shaping the unique identity that would eventually become Luhya. It's like adding different ingredients to a pot. Each one brings its own flavor, and the final dish is something new and wonderful. From the Great Lakes region, the journey continued. Starting around the 15th century, various groups began migrating into what is now Western Kenya. This wasn't a single unified movement of the Luhya people. Instead, it was a series of migrations by different, smaller clans and subgroups, each with its own leader and its own story. They came from different directions, some from the north, through present-day Uganda, others from the south, around Lake Victoria. Why did they move? Well, for all the reasons people have always moved, searching for more fertile land, escaping conflicts, or simply seeking new opportunities. It was during this period, from about 1450 to 1750, that the foundation of the Luhya community as we know it today was laid. Clans like the Abanyala, Abatsotso, and the famous Abalagoli, among many others, began to settle in the lush, green, and well-watered highlands of Western Kenya. As they settled, they established their unique social and political structures. The Luhya were not a centralized kingdom with a single king, like some other groups. Instead, they were organized into a collection of over 18, some say up to 20, distinct subtribes. Each subtribe, like the Maragoli, Bukusu, or Isuka, had its own dialect, customs, and territory. The primary unit of social organization was the clan, a group of families who traced their lineage back to a common ancestor. A council of elders, respected for their wisdom and experience, held the real power, making decisions, resolving disputes, and guiding the community. It was a decentralized system that valued consensus and community well-being. Life in pre-colonial Luhya society was deeply connected to the land. They were skilled farmers, cultivating millet, sorghum, and later, maize and bananas. Cattle were also incredibly important, not just for milk and meat, but as a symbol of wealth and status. A man's standing in the community was often measured by the size of his herd. Their culture was rich with traditions, ceremonies, music, and dance. From elaborate initiation rites that marked the transition from boyhood to manhood, to vibrant wedding ceremonies and harvest festivals, every aspect of life was infused with deep cultural meaning. They were also master storytellers, passing down their history, values, and beliefs through generations of oral tradition, through folk tales, proverbs, and songs. Then in the late 19th century, A new force arrived in East Africa, the Europeans. The arrival of British colonialists marked a dramatic turning point in Luhya history. The British, with their advanced weaponry and administrative goals, sought to control the region. The process of colonization wasn't always peaceful. Some Luhya groups, most notably the Bukusu under the leadership of the great warrior Mukaitwa Namim, put up fierce resistance against British encroachment. The Battle of Shatam, fought in 1895 near Webe, is a legendary example of this resistance. Although the Bukusu were ultimately defeated due to the superior firepower of the British, their bravery and determination became an enduring part of Luhya heritage. Under British rule, the entire social fabric of Luhya society began to change. The colonial administration introduced new systems of governance, appointing chiefs and headmen, which sometimes disrupted the traditional authority of the Council of Elders. They established mission schools, which brought Western education and Christianity. While education opened up new opportunities for many, it also challenged traditional beliefs and practices. The introduction of cash crops like coffee and tea, and the construction of the Uganda Railway integrated the Luhya into a new colonial economy, transforming their subsistence farming lifestyle. It was also during this colonial period that the name Luhya itself came into common use. Before, people identified primarily with their sub-tribe or clan as a Bukusu, a Maragoli, a Wanga. The British, for administrative convenience, tended to group people together. Seeing the cultural and linguistic similarities among the various groups in Western Kenya, they began referring to them collectively. In the 1930s and 40s, emerging educated Luhya leaders embraced this collective identity, forming organizations like the Luhya Union to advocate for their common interests within the colonial system. It was a way to build a stronger, unified voice. As the winds of change blew across Africa in the mid-20th century, the Luhya people were at the forefront of Kenya's struggle for independence. Luhya leaders, intellectuals, and activists like Masinde Muliro played pivotal roles in the nationalist movement, fighting alongside figures like Jomo Kenyatta for freedom from British rule. They contributed their voices, their strategies, and their passion to the dream of a self-governing Kenya. When Kenya finally gained independence in 1963, the Luhya community entered a new chapter. They have since become an integral part of the nation's political, economic, and cultural life. They are one of Kenya's largest ethnic groups, and you'll find Luhya people excelling in every field imaginable, from politics and business to academia, sports, and the arts. Figures like the late Vice President Kiana Wamalwa and many others have left an indelible mark on Kenya's history. Today, the Luhya community is a vibrant and dynamic mix of the old and the new. While many have moved to cities like Nairobi and Mombasa, they maintain strong ties to their ancestral homes in Western Kenya. Traditional customs, like the famous Ijukuti dance, which is now recognized by UNESCO, continue to be celebrated with pride. The dialects are still spoken, and the sense of belonging to one's clan and sub-tribe remains strong. At the same time, they are fully engaged with the modern world, embracing education, technology, and global culture. The story of the Luhya is a powerful testament to resilience, adaptation, and the enduring strength of community. From their ancient origins in the Congo Basin, through their long migration to the Great Lakes, their settlement in Western Kenya, their resistance to colonialism, and their vital role in building modern Kenya, the Luhya have forged a rich and complex identity. Their history reminds us that culture is not static. It's a living, breathing thing that evolves and changes over time, shaped by every journey, every interaction, and every generation. It's a story of a people who have journeyed far, built strong communities, and continued to contribute immensely to the beautiful mosaic that is Kenya. Thank you so much for joining me on this historical journey today. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, please hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next deep dive into history. Let me know in the comments what piece of Luhya history you found most interesting. Until next time, stay curious.